What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Oshi Season 1, Episode 6. As usual, timer-based reaction on YouTube, picture-in-picture version in the description below. There's going to be a timer. Countdown for the timer for the YouTube version starts now. I know that was a pretty fast and short intro. Could have elaborated further, but nah. Something about I just doing this, swinging back and forth. I don't know, it's a bit alluring, actually. It's like, it's inviting me to do the same, which is exactly what I'm doing. And I'm still doing it. So we have pretty much established most of the main characters for this show, at least the ones that were present in this opening. Like we've seen the characters from the reality show that Aqua is currently attending, right? It's all an act. This is all an act. I don't believe it. There may be some truths in this. It's a matter of how much is this? It's just for show. Waiting for the cut. Yeah, she's happy about it. Uh-huh. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Hmm. No, don't yawn, don't yawn. Oh god. All right, good. Oh, 50-50 with the agency. 80-20 for you. It is fascinating to see again, like the how much reality and fiction is blending in for all of these characters, and how sometimes they exaggerate reality for their fictitious life on screen. It's not entirely fictitious. I know it's a reality show, but still. Mm-hmm. Taking a lot of notes. That bed hair. Of course, she would be pissed when she finds out that he's lying. She hates lies, of course. Hmm. No, it's not fine. Love the shirt. I actually really love her shirt. Twins, the 2 stars. Hmm. Yeah. Less fakery, but there is still fakery. Again, the blurred lines. There we go. There's the philosophy. Nice shot of the reflection. Ooh, good shot. Hmm. And now she's center stage. She is in the center of that promotional material. May present some jealousy on other people in the cast. Hmm. Different goals, different ideas. Oh, Akane is still taking notes. And there's her notes. Practicing for a stage play. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Definitely heard her trembling in her voice there. Yeah, but how long is that shield gonna last, though? Now she's blaming herself. It's the thought of her real self that she is portraying isn't appealing to a lot of people, and thus he's trying to be a different person. And obviously, that may not necessarily be an easy feat to do. That history is completely, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We are the product. And if you see yourself as a product, then you try to attribute value to yourself. Every person is invaluable. YouTuber. Young people use. Okay, that's a good joke. Fakery. Yeah, but I feel like people will perceive her as a villain in the show because she is disrupting the status quo that a lot of people are enjoying right now between these two other characters. And now that she is coming in and stealing the show, or at least trying to steal the show, might give her a bad impression, and that's gonna make it worse for her. There you go. Laid out entirely by herself. She wants to stand out, make her mark. Some really good shots in this episode. Music has been really lovely. Direction has been really good. Definitely the better episode, direction wise, compared to all of the others. I'm really enjoying this episode. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Good, 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 good. Comfort her. She seems like she has a good understanding of Akane's situation, so this is great. No, it's completely different. It's far more complex. hmm Yeah, here comes the hate comments. In before death threats, and yeah. Uh, this is a really good episode, like really good. Is it bad that I kind of like it more than the first episode? mm-hmm. Apologize by dying. There we go. Really good music playing in the back. Fake smile. Great shot. The world becomes more black and white. Hmm. This episode could end up with her committing the S word. But I feel like that's not gonna be the case. she's been going left this entire time. Same shots again, over and over and over. This is the first time that she's going right. Walks left again. And then the dark thoughts come into play. Somebody's gonna stop her. That was a great hard cut. Or match cut, even. There we go. Aqua. Aqua. His eye is shining. I really love this episode, but if there's one thing that irritates me about Oshinoko, it's just how immediately abrupt it always ends. Like, you're not gonna at least hang on to that scene, maybe just a few more seconds more? Instead of just end episode. Like, give me like 10 more seconds with that. Whatever. Great episode, actually. Really, really great episode. I think the direction for this episode is really great. I love some of the cuts that they use. Actually, really curious to know who's responsible for this episode. I'm gonna have to check that out once the ED is over. But yeah, great episode. Really great episode. I think as far as episodes go, if we're not counting the first episode, then this is probably my favorite episode out of all of the other episodes. For obvious reasons, this is the most serious episode out of all of them. Also very self-contained. Like, you can watch this episode on your own without really needing to watch all of the other episodes to know the context of this episode and what it's trying to say. Dare I say I kind of like this episode more than the first episode? Maybe that's just because I already know half of what happens in the first episode before I watch the first episode, but either way. Great episode. Great episode. Really good, really good. Thank you for actually showing this. Actually, very respectable that they showed that at the end. Oh, okay. It's directed by one of the people who used to work on 86, which, okay, I guess it's pretty telling. Some of the cuts and direction was really good. Very reminiscent of 86 now that I think about it. Like, there's a lot of moments where we got a lot of match cuts, a lot of transitions, and just a lot of really good, like, choices for each individual shots. So, yeah, that makes sense. And also apparently this is based on a true case. Unfortunately, in that actual case, the person actually committed suicide. So, that's very sad. But it goes without saying that it is the theme of the episode, and I think that's one of the things that this episode did incredibly well. It's portraying, again, it's portraying the peer pressure of the current social state that we are currently living in. It's not necessarily the first story to do so. I mean, there's plenty of other stories, movies, shows out there that focuses on this topic, right? Especially social media in the current day and age. But I think for this episode of Oshinoko, I think they've done a spectacular job, especially with the direction. The direction of this episode really helps set the mood a lot. And I think as far as characters go, Akane has really cemented herself as, somebody who, as the anime community says, somebody who we must protect at all costs. I think her reasoning and her hurdles in this episode is very much believable for this type of character. Almost realistic in a way. Again, it is the extreme depiction, but it's not far removed from reality. This is something that has happened before, as mentioned, right? It is based on a real life story, and it's still happening to this very day. And it doesn't just. It's not just for these celebrities, these social media influencers, or these actors, actresses, and whatnot, right? It's almost everybody that are currently in social media that has a presence in the entertainment world, whether if you are a celebrity or if you're just somebody who is running a reaction channel on YouTube with only a few thousand subscribers. Like, we are all susceptible to these sort of attacks, and I think it is very much important for you as a person, and I guess technically this is still a discussion for the episode, but I just want to say just a bit, right? Because the episode did end with a really, really well. It's a really good message, giving the audience a direct hotline for suicide prevention and all. I think the show did I commend the show for actually putting that at the end of the episode. But what I'm trying to say is, if you are planning to be in this world, right? If you are planning to show yourself, if you are planning to present yourself, whether it is a character or it is you yourself as a person, then I think it is also much needed for you to evaluate yourself first and to see whether or not you are able to accept and take all of these criticisms. Because a lot of people are sensitive and they just don't know it yet, and they may say that, oh, I'm not sensitive, or no, I'm not, I'm not that guy. I'm not gonna get offended. I'm not gonna feel ticked off if you say something bad about me. Like, go ahead, do your worst, right? And I kind of feel that from Akane, because she is a person who is putting up a facade in a way, right? She is presenting herself. She is struggling to balance between a character that she is playing and her real self, right? Because especially during this reality show, she is playing herself, if that makes sense. She's not entirely herself. She's not 100% being genuine that she is herself, but she is playing a character, and yet that character is herself. So there's this balance of, what do you want to show the audience, right? Do you want to show them who you truly are, or do you want to show them parts that you think the audience want to know or want to see? And it's because she is playing herself, right? It's not that she is playing a character, because there are it happens. A person, an actor, actress is playing a character or voicing a character even. a fictional character that is drawn, and then that person gets threats and bombarded with criticism of like, oh, you are terrible, you are garbage, even though they're actually just referring to the fictional character and not the actual person themselves. That's the part that goes way too far. Like, there's plenty of real examples. I don't want to list them all, but you can find them, if you want. But ultimately, in regards to Akane, right? It's this, and because I'm sorry if the discussion is gonna get a bit all over the place, but because of the fact that she is herself playing herself again. I don't know if that makes sense. Hopefully, it does. It just adds another layer of insecurity when you are being criticized, because the character is being criticized, and yet that character is yourself. It's like criticizing a reflection in the mirror. You're not technically criticizing you, but you are criticizing this mirror that is a representation of you. And that is what these people on social media is doing to Akane, so it gets to her, and it happens. So once again, like I said, if you are planning on being a part of this industry, you better get ready for that. Sometimes getting rid of social media helps a lot. Sometimes you gotta step back. Sometimes you just don't want to have social media at all and don't really want to read or listen to the negativity. Like, that's fine. It's fine to ignore these things that are hurting you. Sometimes I would say it doesn't make sense why you would want to read more and more of these hateful stuff if these hateful stuff will only hurt you more. Like, sometimes I just don't get that. If I get a hateful comment or if I get a really dumb comment, either I just read it and ignore it, or I just don't want to read any comments at all. Sometimes I just have those days where I just don't want to read any comments in the YouTube section. I don't know. But I think Akane, again, I think Akane is definitely the standing, she is the main star of this episode. I think she's great. I think the characterization that she was given was fantastic. I already talked about the direction. I already talked about, the music. The music in this episode is great. Sometimes, here's the thing, right? I haven't actually talked about the music in Oshinoko. Sometimes the music is good, but sometimes the music is just, it's just there in the background. It's not really doing anything, and sometimes I feel like the music doesn't really fit the scenes in previous episodes. In this episode, I think for the most part, the music has done really, really well in terms of like building up more and more of the emotion that scene is trying to evoke, like just making it more emotional, making it more sadder, making it more anxiety inducing, making it more happier, for example. Like, there's plenty of moments in this episode and I really appreciate it, and it's all thanks to the music and the art direction and the cinematography, the shot compositions, the change in transitions and all. Like, all of that just blends really, really well. I cannot overstate the fact of how much I really love this episode of Oshinoko. This is by far my favorite episode of Oshinoko, maybe even more than the first episode. And going back to Akane, I feel like this specific line where she says that she just wants to stand out somehow and leave her mark, if I were to analyze her character a bit more, then I would say that her past is a past that is filled with normalcy. As in, nothing bad happens, but nothing good happened either. Like, it's just normal. You are a dust, just wandering space. You're not causing anybody harm, you're not causing anything at all, if we're being completely honest. And for a lot of people, that sucks. Like, you want to leave your impact with the world. Like, even I'm gonna be completely honest, I want to leave my impact in the world. But it's this feeling of unimportantness, right? This feeling of, getting a bit meta, that you are not the main character. Because she is not the main character. She's not the main character of this show. She is not even the main character of this reality show. That spot has been taken, right? And she felt like, for this one moment, for this one chance, she can be that poster child. She can take over that. She can be somebody else, right? Somebody different, somebody more important than she is. A bit of low self-esteem if I'm more thinking about it, but ultimately it is her not thinking that her own life is of any value, right? I talked about this a bit in the reaction, how because they are selling themselves as characters, not don't take that like differently, but because they are being sold as products, right? They talked about it. They are essentially products. They are marketing tools, if you will. They are faces that the company used to bolster up views, because ultimately that is what they care about most, right? They care about the views. It's the money, right? Even his manager, or I guess his manager's manager, his manager's boss, right? Where he is like, she's not getting any views, she's not getting any screen time. What is this? What is going on? Why isn't she on the center stage? Our stock is whatever. Our company ratings are falling down because she's not really doing anything for us. Like, what do we do? Stuff like that. She's not being treated as a person. She's being treated, once again, as a product. And because they are being treated as a product, therefore, there is this invisible and manufactured value that are given to them, right? Because it's kind of like when you are, let's say if we are casting like major Hollywood actors, for example, for the upcoming movie by some really incredible director or whatever, like somebody who is being well respected, right? And they want like the best actors ever. They would probably choose a list of, like A-listers in Hollywood, right? People that are, again, their value is high because they sell, right? You get actors like, I don't know, name any high profile actor like Leonardo DiCaprio, for example, or Ben Affleck, or I don't know, nowadays, Robert Downey Jr., for example, right? These are characters, these are people, these are celebrities, actors that sell a movie. You don't even need to market your movie that much. You don't even need to make a really good trailer. All you have to do is just slap their names and people will go, oh, this movie had this actor in this movie. I am going to check this out because I really like that actor. Because that actor has a value. That actor has importance for the producer. Because the actor is their source, one of their source of income and marketing. And then you look at all of the other actors, like the B-list actors, the C-list actors, right? It's not that they are bad, it's just that they never really have the opportunity to be better. Because so again, like it's like one of those moments where you feel really happy when an actor that you know for a very long time, that has always been in this like maybe crappy, not really crappy, but low budget movies, or underrated and underground TV shows that nobody really knows but only you know, and then you recognize that this actor has potential but he's not really going anywhere, but then all of a sudden like a major Hollywood production is in play, and then that actor got got promoted or casted as like the main actor, for example, as the leading role, and then you're like, yes, finally everybody can see like his acting abilities, like I'm so proud of them, right? And then you see them shot upwards and become, like the star that you always wanted them to be. Like, you feel proud in a way, right? Or a YouTuber that used to start really small and you really love their content, and then you look at them now, and now they're like 10 million subs, 20 million, 50 million, and you're like, damn, they went really far. But it's that value, right? The more successful that person is, the more valuable other people think they become. And Akane is just in that really unfortunate situation where she is at the bottom. Nobody really cares so much for her as a person, and those who do care for her doesn't care for her as a person, but care for her as a product for their own personal gains. So yeah, no shit, she feels a lot of peer pressure. Like, jeez. Yeah. I think this episode is going to hit home for maybe some content creators out there, but I think it will mostly hit home for a lot of, I guess, people working in the idol industry, or people who are actors or actresses or voice actors, or anybody who is actually working on the industry. I feel they're going to feel more connected to Akane in this situation. But the overall message isn't just for those people, it is for everybody, right? It's not just geared towards actors or actresses working in the industry. No, it's geared for almost every single profession in the world. Let's not get it twisted. Replace Akane with an animator, for example, same story. The animation in this movie is trash. The animation in this show is garbage. You don't know how to direct. You don't know how to write. Garbage writing, garbage actors. Terrible fucking show. Fucking garbage. Why are you wasting time and money for the studio? Just move on and do something else. It happens. It happens. And with that, I'm gonna end the discussion. Thank you all so much for tuning in on my reaction and my discussion for Oshinoko. Just like the show itself, I'm going to abruptly end my discussion. So see you all next time for the next episode reaction. Take care. Have a nice day. Peace.